Hi, and welcome to Monday Morning. It's George Nordhaus. I have been a fan of video for many, many years. Used to have a television show many, many years ago, as a matter of fact, on my own, but it was a sports show. But and I got involved and loved it. And then I started when we were doing Agencies Online, and we were beginning to see agents use video much better. I got all excited about it because I just thought it was fascinating. And yet, we haven't seen agents use it nearly as well as they could. Well, when I heard about Mike Demko and what he does, he's in California, and you'll learn what he does here in a few minutes, on my insurance videos, I really became enamored with what could be done at a very reasonable price, and I learned a lot about it from Mike, and so we've been talking a while, and I wanted to tell his story here. Now, best way I can do that is to have Mike well, Mike, tell us about you a little bit, because you're new to our side of the insurance industry, at least. So go ahead.
I appreciate that, George.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that, George. I'll tell you a bit about myself, because it's kind of an interesting way of how I got here. And so I've been in sales and marketing for the last 20 years. I've worked for big companies such as Oracle, Intuit, Merck, and VC-backed startups and all the rest.
Wow.
And I've always been obsessed with using technology to improve sales and marketing for myself and for my teams. And about 3 years ago, I was having great success using video marketing in real estate. The buyers of potential properties and the tenants just really, really responded. And at the same time, I was coaching and mentoring an insurance friend of mine. And what he was saying to me was, you know what, he was having some real problems competing with the Geico's, Progressives of the world because of rates. And a lot of his customers that he had were leaving. He thought they were loyal, but they really weren't that loyal. And he was just really struggling. In fact, you know, he said this is a dark cloud, because he said, you know what, Mike, I'm scared. I've worked hard to build my book of business. The things that I'm trying to build for new business are not simply working. And how can I compete in today's competitive landscape? Things are changing out there. And because I had had success with video, I knew the power of it, but I knew it would be even more effective for my friend. And so what I did is I got together with top agents. I created a steering committee of top agents. We got together with copywriters, and we said, we're going to create a series of videos to help agents stand out from the crowd, articulate the value of insurance, etc. In our first take, we wanted to keep it very simple because video is complex. And so what we did is we had the agents simply read the script. And again, I had 6 agents in my steering committee. A couple of them fell out, and they loved the idea of video. But at the end of the day, what we discovered is that video is great, but it's hard, and it's very expensive. So without my hand-holding, it would be particularly difficult, because I was basically spoon-feeding them the script. So I've made it my personal mission to make it easy for agency owners to leverage this medium, video content, to wow their customers, to reinforce their value, and to drive growth and retention. So this is what I do. This is what we've been doing. And there's a reason that we're focused on this, because it is so powerful. I want to share with you the explosive growth of online video and why, as an agency owner, you really need to pay attention to this medium. So the first thing is, I want to emphasize this. People have tablets, they have mobile phones. Video is the future. It's not just millennials that have these devices, it's everybody. So if we don't embrace this type of communication, you're going to get left behind. I want to share the growth of how powerful and how popular video is. In March of 2014, there are 46 billion video views. That means that on average, each internet user in the United States watched over 240 online videos in 1 month.
That's too many. I mean, who could do that?
It's incredible, George. It's incredible. It's 240. Obviously, maybe they're not watching the entirety of the video, but it's just incredible, these growth rates.
Wow.
Every single minute, there's 300 hours of video content uploaded to YouTube. What that means is there's more video content uploaded each month to YouTube than the 3 major U.S. networks have created in the last 60 years combined.
God.
It's just a fascinating stat. So I also want to mention that video is blowing up on social media. In fact, 60% of all social shares are coming from Facebook, and uploading videos to Facebook has increased 75% since last year.
I didn't know
it's just
that.
taken off.
I didn't know that. I've seen some. You know, I go into video and I see them, but all of a sudden, yeah, you're right. Everywhere you look, it's just amazing.
And this is really conditioning people how they want to share content. Video is just it's a powerful medium. And by the year 2018, experts predict 85% of all internet traffic will be video.
Oh.
So I know you're probably saying to yourself, Mike, this is some nice stats, and this is probably about someone sharing these goofy videos of their cats, their baby. But as an agency owner, how effective is video content as a sales and marketing tool for me to drive growth? And I'm going to share with you a stat that comes from independent research. This has nothing to do with my users, but I love these stats because it reinforces what we're doing. The fastest growing agency owners are using customer testimonials. 52% of them are using video for customer testimonials. 48% of them are using video to describe the types or levels of coverage needed.
Yeah.
And compare that to slower growing agency owners, only 18%, or in this case 10% for the types of coverage needed. So what we can see on this slide is that the fastest growing agencies are embracing this medium, and lesser growing agents are not as quickly. So the reason for this is video simply works. We talked about that people have these devices and all the rest, but if we think about this from a common sense perspective, most people are visual learners. So the combination of voice, imagery, and text is much more powerful. In fact, some experts say it's 6 times more powerful to reading text alone. And I ask people the simple gut check. If you were the consumer and you wanted to learn about umbrella insurance, for example, or any other type of insurance, would you rather read a long text document or watch a brief video that can help explain the same thing, but using imagery and text to reinforce that? Well, the answer is pretty simple, I think. And in fact, there's a study that was done that says video increases people's understanding of your product or service by 74%.
Wow. It's amazing.
So, yeah, it really is kind of commonsensical, but it's just a very powerful medium. So I wanted to briefly touch on a couple ways that every agency owner should be using video. And this is for customer testimonials. Part of our role as an agency owner is to help our clients to navigate the complexities of insurance, to be that trusted advisor. And what better way to do this by including a testimonial from one of your current clients? And we don't have to overthink this. That means that it doesn't have to be some high production cost sort of video with a green screen and all the rest. In fact, you can simply use your smartphone.
How do you do that?
I would recommend.
You just turn on yourself like a selfie? Is that it?
No, not a selfie. In this case, what I would do is I would just simply have someone else with a tripod or something.
I got you.
So
Okay. All right.
Editing of the image. But what a lot of agency owners get tripped up on is the fact that we think we have to spend thousands of dollars to create video content. And the reality is you don't have to. I would recommend here, we've all got a smartphone these days, and they've got fantastic quality for video. The big tip I would give you, of course, is to steady that camera. That's quite easy to do. And then some tips for including these testimonials. One, I keep it to under 1 minute.
Good. I agree. Totally. I hate them all. Yeah, that's good.
That's right. And then the second is, let's think about some content that would be useful. Now pretend that you're shopping for insurance and you want to understand, why should I go with George, for example, or the next agency owner? Well, we want to highlight our exceptional customer service. We want to highlight our claim support, the fact that we can offer best pricing or a one-stop shop to handle all of their insurance needs. So if we highlight these things about our agency, of course, that's going to be valuable for prospective customers.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing is using video content on your website. We've talked about how video is more engaging, a lot more engaging than text. If you include video content on your website, it's a much more professional first impression of your agency. And it also can help use in search engines. If someone were to type in the search bar, for example, what is New York State short-term disability, Google likes video, and there's a good chance that this video might appear in the search engines.
Uh-huh.
So I also want to encourage agents to use video when quoting. And I like to emphasize this point, and that is you never have a second chance to make a first impression. So if you're a member of my insurance videos, you would be able to send a video along with your quotes. So imagine if your prospect received this in their inbox. You're quoting
neat idea. Love this idea. Wow. Good deal. I don't think anybody's doing that. That's the first time I've heard that. You see this very often, Mike? I don't see it very often.
No one's doing this. And George, the reason for it is it's quite frankly, it's complex. And that is, yes, we call this the eye candy in the inbox. When you, as an agency owner, send video content as a part of your quote, a couple things happen. One, you stand out from the crowd. You look very different. Two, it boosts your professionalism. Three, you're easy to work with. You've now given that recipient some content that reinforces their decision-making, makes it easier to understand the value of insurance.
That's a fabulous idea, Mike. Excuse me for interrupting. I hadn't thought of this. I get embarrassed when I see these wonderful ideas, and I should have been thinking about that 20 years ago or something. Man, that's a good idea. Nobody does that. Go ahead.
Pardon me?
I said, well, nobody like the Geicos of the world and all those people. They're not doing anything like that I know about. Yeah.
Now, if we take a look at, well, of course, this is the reaction we get from the prospects. In any case, we've seen with our service that agents that are using video and quoting have improved their close rate by 5 to 10%. Wow. Just think about how powerful that could be to your agency.
Ooh. Beautiful. Love it.
So the next is, importantly, we know that cross-selling is very, very important to our long-term retention and success. And again, what would you rather receive, a 1,000-word text explanation or a 2 to 3 minute video explanation? Imagine if now your CSR could identify some cross-sell candidates in your book when they're talking on the phone with your insureds. And now they could say, I'm including a brief video that will expand on what we discussed or help to explain the coverages. It's a very powerful way for you to boost the effectiveness of your staff.
I'm going to be telling everybody to do that from now on. I'm not everybody, but I mean the people we deal with, Agencies Online or Insurance Needs Analysis, we're coming out with that. This is perfect for it because cross-selling is the major part of the retention area. And, good idea. I'm learning. Keep going.
Fantastic. I'm gonna have us take a brief look at one of these videos here.
Let's do it.
I want to make the point that each of these videos plays on your own agent-branded page. So when that recipient opens that video, on that page where that video plays would be your name as the agency owner, your contact information, and we even color match this to look like your website. There's also a link to more videos, which we'll show you at the end of the presentation, and this would link back to your website. So I'll pause here, and we'll take a look at this brief video, and it talks, obviously about the importance of umbrella insurance.
All right, let's see it.
Let's face it, lawsuits are quite common today. If you accidentally injure someone or damage their property, you could be sued. And more, juries are awarding very large verdicts. So while your homeowners, property, and auto policies may provide substantial liability limits, juries can award sums that exceed those limits. That's where umbrella insurance comes in. A personal umbrella policy provides an extra layer of coverage on top of your existing policies. Imagine that you were involved in an auto accident. Your auto insurance has a limit of $500,000 for bodily injury and property damage per accident. Unfortunately, you are found to be at fault for the accident, and the other driver decides to sue you. The suit is settled for $1 million, and you are liable to pay. In this example, your auto insurance would pay the first $500,000 as per the limits of your policy. But what about the remaining $500,000? How would you come up with the money to pay for that? Thankfully, if you have a $1 million personal umbrella policy in place, the insurance company would pay the remaining $500,000. So this is why an umbrella policy can be so important. It helps to protect your income and assets against lawsuits by providing liability coverage in excess of your existing policies. So, for example, if someone slipped and fell in your driveway and wanted to sue you, or your dog gets loose and bites a neighbor's child, the same umbrella policy would kick in on top of your homeowner's policy. If you were responsible for damages caused by an accident while on your boat, or while operating your RV, again, this umbrella policy would provide additional coverage. Besides providing increased liability limits, a personal umbrella policy also provides coverage if you were sued for libel, slander, or defamation of character. And we even help to pay for defense costs, which could save you thousands in legal fees. And one of the most attractive features of umbrella insurance is that it can be very inexpensive. To give you an idea, a $1 million umbrella policy can cost around $20 a month. Protecting what you worked so hard for with an umbrella policy can be a very smart decision, because you don't need to be a millionaire to be sued like one. Call us today to put a plan in place to protect you and your assets.
That is so neat. Love it. Love it. I love that idea. And that'll sell. I bet it sells stuff, doesn't it? But you've had great.
Oh yeah, we've had great success with this. Agents, there's a lot of different ways agents are doing this. We talked about how CSRs can cross-sell on inbound opportunities.
Great.
And there's other agency owners that are running a report in their agency management system, identifying cross-selling opportunities, whether it's umbrella, earthquake, life insurance, even monoline policies. So it's a really neat way for you to create more engagement with the policyholder that you're looking to cross-sell, because they have a gap in their insurance. It's our duty, it's our responsibility to inform them of their options so they can make the decisions to best protect their family from financial hardship.
Right.
So I'll carry on here, and as mentioned, we also have videos in the library that help you to cross-sell life. It's very important. We know that selling life doesn't happen necessarily when you're quoting auto and home for that first time. So this is a great way for you to leverage video content to educate the prospect, to plant the seed for selling life. It gives you a reason to follow up. A lot of agency owners will send the life videos from time to time, and what happens is it gives them a reason to follow up and say, hey, I know protecting your family is important. I send you a brief video. Did you happen to watch that with your wife? Because I know we need to have this conversation. It's my responsibility to make sure not only your home and auto is taken care of, but your most important asset, and that's your family. So it's been a really neat way to create more engagement and, like I said, educate the policyholders. So next I want to talk briefly about how using video with your email marketing. Email marketing is a powerful way for us to stay in front of our book. And like I say, we must stay in front of our book and reinforce our value all of the time. The reason why is because, well, quite frankly, if you're not doing that, someone else is. And a lot of people, there's some naysayers out there saying, oh, email marketing, how effective is it? Well, let me tell you, in the most recent study, email marketing is still deemed not only the most effective, okay, but it's also the easiest to execute. And that's compared to all of these other different marketing tactics, including social media. So email is still the best. And if I'm going to borrow from the best practices from the captives here, and that is all of the captives have figured out that email marketing is effective. In fact, Farmers, Allstate, and State Farm send at least one email per month to the entire book of business. And the reason why is because it works. So it's an easy way to stay in front of your book. So the other thing I want to remind ourselves of is that we are in a relationship business. The better our relationships, the higher the retention, the more referrals. So I emphasize the importance of birthdays and holidays. And I know a lot of agents are sending out, maybe send out cards, which is the printed cards, which may cost up to $1, $1.50 each. Well, we've created something that I like to call better, faster, and cheaper. In this case, more personal, timely, and cost-effective. And that is a voice-enhanced birthday video. So I want to show you an example of one now. So this is a very, very great, interesting way to stay in front of our book, and I'll play you an example. So in this case, this is an agent that you're going to hear Liberado's voice and his staff's voice on this greeting.
Happy birthday from all of us at the Liberato Martinez Insurance Agency.
So it's a neat way to touch your...
I love having all those people in there shouting the whole, like it's a big staff and they're all saying it at the same time. It doesn't cost anything to do this either. I mean, it's really cheap, isn't it? I mean, once you have this, it's just out. There it is.
It really is, and I say timely because if you send out a printed card, most people know that they're printed at some big mail house anyway. Not many agents, if you have a huge book of business, are going to spend the time to handwrite cards and all the rest.
No.
So this is really a perfect combination of, hey, it's cost effective because it's up to 10 to 15 times cheaper than sending out the send-out cards, and it's personal because we're touching with our voice, and of course, and timely because everyone's opening these videos on their smartphones, and of course, my service is mobile friendly, as you might imagine.
Well, let me ask you something. Would you go ahead and tell us about your business? I want to. We don't like to generally on Monday mornings. We don't make a big sales pitch, but this has got to, people's got to see this. They've got to know about it, and then I don't know anybody else that does it anywhere near what you're doing. In fact, I don't know anybody else that does it. So tell us about what you got here, okay?
Yeah. So George, what we have here is we have a turnkey sales and marketing platform with 30 out-of-the-box videos. So I say out-of-the-box, and this is what I discovered on my journey here, is that, yes, video content is incredibly powerful, but as I mentioned, the agents in my steering committee said, hey, Mike, just give me the out-of-box videos that are already done. If they have my own branding on the page, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, all these videos play on your own personally branded page. Then we've also married that with the voice-enhanced birthday and holiday videos. So that way you get to touch your book of business every single day. You're going to we will send out on your behalf a birthday video to all of your clients that have that birthday, and then holiday videos throughout the year. So
wow.
That's really the core of the service. Agents can also embed the video content on your website. This is great for attracting new business. We can send videos via email when quoting, which I showed you. You can also post the videos to social media, Facebook and LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And again, our fully automated system will send the videos on your behalf, and once a month, we'll also send out an educational video to make sure that you stay top of mind with your book.
Neat.
This is a great way to educate, plant the seed for selling, and retain your business.
Wow.
So I'll tell you very briefly. I know I just want to share some of the successes we have had. And today, there's more than 200 plus agency owners using the service to do these things, to improve their close rate. As mentioned, we've seen agents improve their close rate by up to 10%.
Wow.
They've increased the productivity of their staff. Now, you may have a CSR that's reluctant to cross-sell. Well, shoot, they've got a video sales tool that helps improve their effectiveness. The other way we want to reinforce our value is by being easy to work with, and these videos are helping people to provide a better customer experience. And of course, we want to cross-sell more. The videos can help you with that. And if we're cross-selling, we're obvious, and we're hitting people on the day of their birthday, we're going to reinforce our value throughout the year, and of course, this is going to help with retention. So these are the ways that agency owners have been leveraging the power of video to drive growth in their agency.
Mm-hmm. Let's look at some. I mean, that's, yeah. It's go ahead. You're doing fine. I'm just. There's so much here. I'm just taking it all in. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just want to give you an example. We've worked very hard to include video content that is relevant to your business and can help you better communicate with your insureds. So as you can imagine, we've got all the usual suspects, if you so to speak. Mm-hmm. Condo renters, auto, what's not included, teen drivers, all different ways for you to engage with your book. You can use these, of course, like I said, in sales when quoting and cross-selling. And again, as a part of our service, we'll send one of these videos, an appropriate video, once a month to your entire book to improve retention and obviously education. So we've got a series of life insurance videos. We've got 8, in fact. So we've got the 3 that, as mentioned, we've got a mortgage protection video as well. And we also have a BOP video for business insurance, the flood, earthquake, as mentioned, the birthday video. So we've got more than, there's 22 videos in English and 8 in Spanish, actually. So for agency owners with a large percentage of the book that are Spanish speaking, we've also created that content. So
wow.
My insurance videos is really, as mentioned, I'm passionate about helping agency owners leverage this medium to more effectively drive growth in their agency. And we've taken the perfect combination of out-of-the-box and done-for-you video content with video content that includes your voice to help you to improve your relationship or deepen that relationship so that we can drive retention and referrals.
Wow. I wish you could get more enthusiastic. I mean, you sound like, yeah, you're really pumped, aren't you? Are you like this all the time? Is it enthusiastic?
Well, George, when I get a positive response to things, and I know where the world's going, world's going really by making a consumer experience better. And I'm a passionate guy about everything I do. Of course, I'm passionate about helping agency owners, but I'm also passionate about helping consumers to better understand what the heck they're buying. Because I'm a consumer, and I know that for me, a better user experience is by having the opportunity to digest this content in a format that's easily understood for me. So it's really for both parties. It's for the agency owner to drive growth, and it's also for the consumer. And I can't help but be passionate about those two things.
Well, I don't blame you. And I say what I've seen you. It's just so much fun to deal with you and to watch what you're doing. And the future of this thing is just beyond comprehension. And it's exciting. And even when you think 80% of our communications is going to be video on the internet, if that's true, holy mackerel! Well, you got a good future in front of you, Mike. I'm proud of you.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate the opportunity to participate on Monday morning. I love the show. It's fantastic. So I really appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to continuing the dialogue with you. And
we'll do it.
Again,
okay. Thanks. Well, thank you again, and we will. Don't forget now to go back into the email, and you can sign up. We're having an actual recorded webinar that we're doing, and that's another story that Val Jordan's doing, our president, and you can sign up for it there. It's really good, and you'll enjoy it, but that's going to take place another week or so. But in the meantime, I want to thank you again, Mike. This is just a wonderful job, and I hope that people will let everybody in the agency see this, because it's going to change your way of thinking about your customers. So once again, I thank you, Mike, and I'll see the rest of you next Monday morning.